Money, will you put the groceries out, please? Continue. Islam, Dwayne Bay. Islam, Dwayne Bay. It is June the 22nd, 2018. Islam is going on 6 p.m. Um, it is, or is it money? What time is it? Yeah, 6 p.m. I'm about to do a quick video. And today is Friday, the holy day. Um, let me see. I'm gonna start off by saying, Islam, how are you? I hope you're well. Yeah, you're probably well. I've been reading your tweets. So I think you said yesterday and today you had a very good day. You don't want no one to disturb your joy. I'm not trying to disturb your joy. I'm not. I'm just trying to keep my testimony flowing and that energy flowing. Not. I am very thankful and grateful that you are feeling joy. Islam. It's good that you're feeling joy. Okay, so let me go ahead and continue. So, let's see. And I mean that. I'm just really tired. So, today, let's see. I realized something. Let's see. I'm going to start off by saying, um, um, as I was at Burger King today, I was thinking to myself, one of the customers was like, and let me go back to this energy of joy. Dwayne, it's good that you feel joy. It's good. It could be joy because the woman that you love, you and her are harmonizing and your house are flowing. The house is flowing. Your house has that harmony and peace in your home. And that's good, okay? It is. It really is. For me to accept truth, it is good. And so by accepting truth, I must be ready to accept all aspects of truth. And in that, at any moment, I have to prepare myself to let go without feeling anger or regret or bitterness, but just accept, it's okay. Allah is great. My goal right now is to stay completely, as much as I can, attuned to Allah. Those are my goal, and that are those divine energies of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. It's not easy, especially when I am experiencing spiritually mental attacks. It's not, but I have to. And today I felt like my thoughts was wavering, especially at the very end. I felt really tired mentally. I drank sweet tea, lemonade, and fruit punch mix, and it was a little tough. It was. It gave me a little boost of energy, but mentally I was still feeling like, oh, trying to shake off some negative energy that I was experiencing, or just some negative energy, some negative things that I experienced. Just shake it off and try to keep my thoughts flowing and towards that divine energy of Allah. It is a challenge because that once again is that is connection to freedom and my divinity, staying divine, demonstrating my divinity, the divine aspect of myself, Islam. So let me continue. At Burger King, I was sitting here thinking. I was thinking to myself. One of the co-workers was like, Miss Phyllis said they were ordering something to eat, and he was like, Miss Phyllis said I can have this. Is the manager, Phyllis. I can have 2 ranch dressings. And I was like, why is he saying Miss Phyllis said that? And then I thought about it because yesterday I had brought a handful of butter and 5 syrups from Burger King, but these are condiments. It's like a handful and a half of butter and syrup from Burger King. But before I take them and take the condiments, even though it has never been mentioned not to do so, I always ask the manager. Always. I'm like, is it okay? Because syrup, SYRUP, butter, I don't have to have. But sometimes I want to add to my food when I come home. I might want to add some sweetness, and if it's okay with them, why not? So anyway, I told him, I said, why are you telling me this? I said, you know, it's okay for you to, you purchase something, and if you want 2 ranch dressings, you can have 2 ranch dressings. Then I thought about it. I said, and I called the person's name out. His name is John. I said, John, you might hear me sometimes, ask about condiments. Because before I asked if I could take a few condiments with me as I leave. That's because I don't want the managers, even though they're condiments, it could be ketchup. I have not taken any ketchup, but it ranch, mayonnaise, a few packs of mayonnaise, not ketchup, ranch dressing, could be butter or syrup, things like that. Even though they're small to some people, it's still a part of Burger King. I'll always ask, is it okay? And before I take it out, because I don't want them to ever think that I'm involved in theft. And because I don't eat at Burger King, or haven't eaten at Burger King in a long time, that means purchase food. At Burger King that I work at, an employee can use their number. Each employee has a number, so they can use this number, purchase food, and Burger King takes it out their check when out the payroll, out their check. Or they can pay 50% off immediately, where it doesn't come out their check. So I can use a card for them, and the employee can only pay 50% off. And when they receive their check stub, it'll show that it was 50% taken off from their food. So that's how Burger King give discounts to the employees, the Burger King I work at. For me, it's been a very, very long time since I've had food, such as a veggie burger or fries or onion rings at Burger King. I think it's been over a year, approximately. Now, so if I choose, now I have purchased orange juice at Burger King, and that is probably in the past 2 weeks. I might get like 4 or 5 cartons of orange juice, and tell them to take it out my or however many orange juice I want, and tell them to take it out my check. But as for food, such as anything, I haven't eaten in over a year, except for the Twix pie. When Burger King starts selling the Twix pie, employees have a choice to try desserts, new items for free when they come on, and I wanted to taste it. I wanted to taste the Twix pie. It was really good, but because of the diet I'm on, the chemistry of my body, it made me feel sick. As soon as I ate it, it was so good. I was eating it. It was like so yum, 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 yum. I was eating it, and then all of a sudden, after I ate it, I felt like I had to vomit. It's not because the pie was poison. It's because of the chemistry, what the diet I'm on, transitioning to vegan vegetarian diet. And so it probably had to, whatever is in it caused me to feel sick. But that was months and months ago. Whenever Burger King starts selling the Twix pie, I tried one time. It was extremely good, but it made me feel sick. So I couldn't, so anyway, besides that, I would say it's approximately over a year since I've eaten substance food from Burger King, or more, maybe not more. I've been there for maybe a year and a half. Or a year and 3 or 4 months, since maybe a year and a half, since I've really been transitioning into a vegan vegetarian diet. So when he was like, Miss Phyllis said I could have 2 ranch dressings, I thought about it, because I had just yesterday asked the manager, Miss Phyllis, I was like, Miss Phyllis, can I have a handful of butter and 5 syrups? As I was walking out, she's like, no problem, you're fine. I said, are you sure? I said, Miss Phyllis, I can pay for it if you want. And because I told her I had the money to pay for it. If they want to charge for the condiments, I would pay for it, or take it out my check. I'll pay for it. But she said, no, you don't have to pay for the condiments. And that's what I was always thought of too. I mean, I always thought that that's how the policy was too. But still, even though we don't have to pay for condiments, I don't want to take anything out of Burger King without asking, because I don't feel comfortable. And even if it's like if it's like a few ketchups, I'm not gonna say any, but if it's stuff like, I mean, well, even ketchup, I just try my best to just be honest. And so my higher self said ask, because I don't eat food at Burger King, and I don't want to seem like I just didn't feel right just taking a handful of butter, actually a handful and a half of butter of and 5 syrups without asking. So and so I didn't so anyway, that's what I did. And so anyway, let me continue. That's my phone. I don't know why this phone is ringing. At Burger King, another thing is, a lot of times, the coworkers, they don't only just get food half price for themselves. At this Burger King, they also get half price food for their family a lot of times. And at first I used to be like, hold up. Live long, inshallah. Excuse me. Live long, inshallah. At first I used to be very, I mean, I was always, because you're supposed to sign the receipt, but I was told we don't have to make the coworkers sign their receipt anymore when they pay for it with their number or 50% off, and if it's family. So I always try to ask the coworker, even though I see the same people come in with them and they say, "Mom, I'm getting," or or whatever, and they standing with the person that's supposed to be their child. I always try to ask the coworker that I work with, is it okay for you to for me to put this under your number, or what's your number? I never just assume, never assume. And I spoke to, I think Carl was the person I spoke with, and this is one of the owners of this Burger King. He said they're lenient about the co-workers eating, paying for food for their families as well, 50% off. I was like, okay. As long, because at first, I mean, this was a while ago. I was like, I don't, I kept asking Miss Phyllis, and she was like, go ahead. And they would seem like they were getting irritated because I kept asking, but I didn't know. And I don't want to seem like I'm giving away food to, and I don't, I don't know if they're, I just didn't know. I'm trying to stay, correct, so, so that's another thing. So what I'm getting at is, even though I see this going on, and Carl said it's okay, we're lenient about feeding the co-workers, also feeding their family members and giving them 50% off, I still felt like, even though I'm getting condiments, I gotta ask. It's just, even though they're not a lot, but it's still, I have to ask. They're condiments, and it's Burger King. So I have to ask. And so I told John, the co-worker, I was like, I don't think you have to tell me about you. I don't think you have to ask Miss Phyllis for ranch dressing when you purchase food. You purchase a sandwich and you want 2 ranch dressings. That's the same as a customer purchasing a sandwich and asking for 2 ranch dressings. I asked for permission because I don't eat at Burger King, or haven't eaten at Burger King in a long time. And I told him, I said, approximately over a year, and I was excluding that Twix pie that was given to me. So I don't want them to ever think I'm involved in theft. Anyway, going on to the next subject. Another thing I was thinking about, moving forward, in the story of Iris, I'm adding to the story of Iris, and this was something that was very odd that she experienced. She was working at this warehouse. And as she was working at the warehouse, she noticed that the owner of the warehouse, which is a male, because a lot of times those that speak Spanish or maybe from Mexico or El Salvador, they keep saying werewolf, or in a spiritual plane, there is these spirits, unclean, are constantly trying to engage. They're incubus, succubus, Islam. So what that incubus and succubus, they absorb energy. They take energy. All right. So they always looking for a way to take energies from the divine, a divine spirit, a divine soul. So one day Iris is working at the warehouse, and the owner of the warehouse, who knows what's going on, came into the warehouse and actually tried to molest her genitals spiritually while she's working, serving customers. She's sweeping, she's mopping, she's going to the other line, different departments of the warehouse to work. She's working up a sweat. She's working so hard. And he takes it upon himself to try to molest her genitals in a sexual manner in front of the co-workers, demonstrating that this is what you do to a soul. All right? Remembering that this whole occult in Iris's story, the last few souls of planet Earth, they create different programs, such as the Werewolf Society, the number 3, negative, the 3, and other occulted programs to keep these unclean soulless spirits controlled, all right, and to keep them focused on their agenda, and that is attacking souls, awakening souls, and force amalgamation with them. So Iris is working hard, going to different departments, and this unclean spirit, who seem to be connected to this occulted society where they call themselves werewolves, I started to attack her genitals on the spiritual plane, in a spiritual mental manner. Okay, now this is an owner, okay, and so of the warehouse. So what happens is Iris, her angels started to fight, and there was another group of wolves, because Iris is a Moor, went after this spirit, this unclean soulless spirit, and attacked. And while Iris is working, she sees spiritually and mentally two groups of wolves fighting. One is protecting her, the other ones are trying to force engage, because they're soulless, unclean, filthy spirits. A lot of them, once again, seem to be connected, or Spanish speaking. They could be from Mexico, Puerto Rico, and also that's just limited. They could also be the Black, Negro, African American, or pale skin that's in connection to this occulted society, the werewolves. And remember, on TV, Irises have noticed how the TV, these movies, because these unclean spirits imitate what they see, because these are programs, all right, in this matrix. So on TV, you have movies about werewolves and vampires. These movies encourage a savage behavior, all right, savage and demonic behavior. Okay, so you had these unclean, filthy, soulless spirits imitating what they see, their programs, imitating. So on that day, with Allah's blessing, she was protected by Moors that saw what was going on to keep this filth, the owner of this warehouse, from attacking her genitals in the public in a sexual manner. But he had other, his group tried to fight. And so the Moors, which are a group of angels that are wolves, attacked and stopped what was happening. And so this is what she is among. All right, that's the end of that story. I'm adding to it. Okay, and Dwayne, this is all on the mental plane. Now, what I'm going to do now is talk about real quick, Dwayne, on in reference to spirituality and understanding what we are among. You know, I see how everything a Moor or does has been recorded on the physical plane. So you have their cameras all over the place. Cameras, and then these entities telepathically are all have agents paying attention constantly. So it's easy to make them to for Moor who did not know that their behavior and thoughts were being recorded by these this matrix. All right, this matrix for control, because they know Moors are going to be awakening, souls are going to be awakening, and the first thing they're going to want to do when they realize they're among something that's not like them, not just because they're not like them, but